important to note that France is not on the verge of collapse and is in a better state than other European economies like Italy or Spain. This is France. It has significant influence in the EU over areas such as security and defence, economic and monetary governance, and foreign policy. However, in 2023, France was one of Europe's most problematic states. However, even looking ahead over the next 7 years to 2030, France looks to maintain a high fiscal deficit, which is expected to significantly increase its public debt and face a potential demographic crisis similar to that of Italy.
Imagine a nation, celebrated for its cultural richness and economic vigor, now teetering on the brink of an economic abyss. Welcome to Wyzeconomist. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a story not just whispered in the corridors of power, but felt on the bustling streets and quiet homes across France. Once a beacon of art and history, France is facing a future where its economy seems to be crumbling piece by piece. From the shadows of deindustrialization to the echoes of a declining GDP, shrinking middle class, and perplexing foreign policy decisions, we're diving deep into the heart of France's economic turmoil. But before we embark on this journey, a quick reminder. If insights into the world's economic twists and turns fascinate you, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Your engagement fuels our quest for economic truths. Let's dive in. France, once hailed as an economic powerhouse, has faced significant challenges in recent decades. The country's journey from prosperity to its current economic plight is both complex and instructive. The post-war boom known as the Trente Glorieuses saw France experiencing unprecedented growth and prosperity. However, as we moved into the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the landscape began to shift. Globalization, technological advances, and competitive pressures started to erode France's industrial base, setting the stage for what we see today. The decline didn't happen overnight. It was the result of a series of economic decisions, global shifts, and missed opportunities for reform. This historical context is crucial for understanding the depth and breadth of France's economic challenges. In the heart of Europe, France's industrial sector has witnessed a significant transformation over the past 40 years, with the manufacturing share of the GDP declining by 9 points. This trend is primarily due to technological advancements and shifts in consumer preferences, which have increasingly favored services over manufactured goods. The decline is reflected both in decreasing volume and relative prices of industrial goods, indicating a broader economic shift towards a service-oriented economy. Investments and the structure of production have similarly evolved, further highlighting the challenges and changes within France's industrial landscape. As the fabric of France's economy weaves increasingly towards services, the ripple effects extend beyond mere employment shifts. The decline in manufacturing not only redefines job landscapes, but also challenges France to innovate and adapt in the face of global economic currents. This transition, while reflective of broader technological and societal evolutions, calls for strategic responses to harness new opportunities in digitization and service sectors, ensuring a resilient economic future amidst the complexities of deindustrialization. But what does this mean for the average Jean or Jeanne on the street? It means changes in job availability, with a stark pivot away from manufacturing to service-oriented roles. It means regions once buzzing with factories and production lines are now navigating the challenges of economic transition. And it means a nation grappling with how to reinvent its economic identity in a rapidly changing world. Yet, deindustrialization isn't the end of the story. It's a chapter that's still being written, with efforts to innovate, digitize, and adapt to a new economic landscape. The question remains, how will France leverage its historical strengths to thrive in this new era? France's GDP growth in 2023 was a modest 0.9%, a sharp slowdown from the 2.5% growth in 2022 and the significant 6.4% rebound in 2021. This slowdown reflects a stabilization of the economy, with GDP remaining stable in Q4 2023 after experiencing a slight decline in household consumption and gross fixed capital formation. However, foreign trade offered a silver lining, with a positive contribution, even as imports fell and exports almost flatlined. This mixed economic performance underscores the challenges France faces in stimulating domestic demand and investment amidst global uncertainties. The contraction of France's manufacturing sector has reverberated through the economy, manifesting in a gradual decline in GDP and GDP per capita. These indicators, crucial for assessing the economic health and standard of living, reflect the broader impacts of industrial downsizing and the shift towards a service-oriented economy. The challenge now lies in leveraging these shifts to foster sustainable growth and development. France's ability to adapt its workforce, invest in innovation, and attract service-based industries will be key to reversing the downward trend in GDP and enhancing the quality of life for its citizens. Economic projections also point to the resilience and challenges within the French labor market. Despite a slowdown in activity, the unemployment rate is expected to remain relatively stable, increasing slightly to 7.4% in 2024 and 7.6% in 2025 from a historic low. As France grapples with these economic transformations, the middle class faces increasing pressure, with implications for overall quality of life. The erosion of manufacturing jobs, historically a backbone for the middle class, coupled with rising living costs, has led to economic strain for many families. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive policies that not only stimulate job creation in emerging sectors, but also ensure access to education and training, enabling the workforce to thrive in a changing economic environment. France's fiscal health and foreign policy also come under scrutiny, with a government deficit expected to exceed 5% of GDP in 2023, despite a reduction in emergency support measures. The forecast suggests a challenging path ahead for fiscal consolidation, with the government debt-to-GDP ratio projected to remain close to 111% over the coming years. These fiscal challenges, combined with the potential geopolitical risks and uncertainties, including the impact of ongoing conflicts in the global economic environment, could influence France's foreign policy and economic resilience. Moreover, France's foreign policy decisions have had their own set of economic repercussions, influencing trade relationships and international cooperation. Throughout 2023, France experienced a noticeable reduction in its presence and influence across Africa, marked by military withdrawals and strained diplomatic relations. Notably, French troops withdrew from Niger following demands from the country's military junta, a move that came after similar withdrawals from Mali and Burkina Faso. These events have been seen as indicative of a broader trend of diminishing French influence in its former colonies, collectively referred to as France-Afrique. The situation has been further complicated by the emergence of an anti-French alliance, as countries like Niger have sought new partnerships, including with Russia, and have shown openness to cooperation beyond the traditional Franco-African axis. The closure of the French embassy in Niamey and the suspension of services, alongside protests and calls for French troops to leave, underscore the growing challenges France faces in maintaining its historical ties and influence in the region. In the context of France's economic challenges and its shifting role on the global stage, the developments of 2023 in Africa epitomize a broader narrative of France's declining influence, not just in its former colonies, but globally. The year saw France grappling with diminishing soft power and a perceptible retreat from traditional spheres of influence, underscored by the withdrawal of French troops from Niger and the deteriorating relationships within the France-Afrique sphere. Such events are emblematic of a wider recalibration of relationships between former colonial powers and African nations, with emerging powers like Morocco stepping in to fill the void left by France, showcasing a shift in regional dynamics and influence. France's efforts to maintain its relevance and influence are now juxtaposed against an era where economic, cultural, and political capitals are increasingly distributed across new global power centers. As France reassesses its role and influence, the international community witnesses the emergence of new alliances and partnerships that could reshape global geopolitics. This shift underscores the importance of adaptability, innovation, and strategic diplomacy in sustaining global influence amidst the evolving international landscape. In conclusion, France's experience in 2023 serves as a poignant illustration of the challenges facing traditional powers in maintaining their influence in a rapidly changing world. It highlights the need for a re-evaluation of strategies to engage with emerging economies and the significance of building meaningful, reciprocal relationships that respect the autonomy and aspirations of all nations. In a rapidly changing global landscape, what strategies should France adopt to maintain or reshape their influence? Is France done as a European power? Let us know in the comments below.